So right into it. Smash the like button, subscribe. I'm not gonna promise you nothing but content and my personality, my character. My guidance or my input on something. So this video right here is gonna be about what we see going on right now. A whole bunch of bullshit. Okay, so they want you to participate in it. They definitely want your participation in the bullshit. And what I'm talking about is this messy ass U.S. corporation, sideshow bullshit. Uh, a lot of us know that the U.S. corporation has been defunct since 2020 of July. In other words, their term or contract or pledge or whatever they had, where they were in control as a de facto, is over. Although they still have people in place acting as if a lot of the, so-called government buildings and facilities have been closed down and have gates around them because they don't want their funky ass in there because their time is up. So these people are using Hollywood. So a lot of times these press conferences are taking place in different places, but mainly in the Tyler Perry studio. I just thought I would tell y'all FYI. And this is a shame because a lot of this is common information, but everybody don't get it. Everybody is looking for different stuff. And a lot of time on the internet, you'll find what you're looking for. And a lot of times, the people's motives for, YouTube is entertainment. And people's brand of entertainment definitely varies and changes. What entertains me may not entertain you. With that in mind, what I want to talk about is this so-called stepping down of Joe Biden, and I'm gonna address the Trump assassination attempt too. I want to just kick the ball around. We're gonna get in the car. We're gonna roll down the block, hit a few corners, jump out, talk to the homies, try to touch a few bases. Should stop at the liquor store. Go and get some water. Nothing, no alcohol or nothing. But what I'm saying is we're going to ride around and address a lot of the foolery, fuckery, as well as the good shit going too. Because a lot of times the YouTube community is seriously on a crash course, always talking about fear. It seems like the fear, people like to be scared and driven into a corner as well, but I also want to talk about some positive stuff too. That some alternatives. Like we do got a choice. We got action. You know what I'm saying? And so what I want to address is was Joe Biden actually ever in office? Is there a Joe Biden? Well, we know that Joseph Robinette Biden, as far as now, don't ask me to give you any source. This is the ongoing information that I've heard over and over through other credible people. Is that Joe Biden was terminated. There was a military tribunal. A tribunal is when they have a trial for you because you have done something against the country or, against the people. And what they do is they sit you in front of a panel of military. And if you have done something and they have found it to be egregious towards the country, then they just, they hang you or shoot you, or have you, put to sleep. And my understanding is Joe Biden was one of the ones who were put to sleep. And this supposedly had happened in 2018. Yeah, 2018. as well as Hillary Clinton. She has been. They said she has been murdered too, because you sure don't hear from her no more, do you? So and because I know that Hillary Clinton was seriously involved in some interesting stuff, freaky stuff, Pizzagate, predatory child murder. These people be the privileged people think that they can do everything exclusively behind closed doors. But I'm here to tell you that closed doors do talk, the walls talk. Oftentimes, walls fall, just like you've seen that these torture spots and hiding places in the Jewish synagogue in New York a couple years ago, and they discovered it, and it's been they haven't talked about it much, but they found some of these places, secret hidden compartments where they was doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do with probably kids, children, you know. But what I want to really get back to is this Joe Biden. So the question is, was he really in office? Was he really in office? We know that they would like to project this thing about Joe Biden being frail and incompetent, but he wasn't frail and incompetent just 2, 3 years ago when he ran for office. He was full of fire. So I know a lot of stuff happened in a couple years, but it seemed to me like this all is a storyline that's being, coerced and, put onto the people by duress. Me, myself, I don't believe it. I think that I have seen different looks of Joe Biden's. Some of them might be Mach 5 robots. Some of them might be puppets. Some of them might be actual actors. But I have seen a couple different looks of Joe Biden. So it's just hard for me to believe that he is a real one. So what it tells me is they're using Hollywood, which is a branch of their military, because it seems that Hollywood has not been putting out any good movies. And the country right now is definitely, on auxiliary mode. And when we say auxiliary mode, if you ever have had back in the day, a record player, or if you've ever had a system or whatever, the auxiliary is that it's functioning but not at full capacity. So that's the best way to say with what's going on with this de facto U.S. corporation right now. And there is a swing between the Republic, the U.S. of A., United States of America, and the de facto. And so you always got to know that we are definitely being controlled by two. We're being as a people administrated to by both the de jure. The de jure would be the United States of America Republic versus the de facto. The de facto is somebody that's in control. In fact, the de facto government would be the United States Corporation. And that's why you have the driver's license, which is the United States Corporation. And you also have the passport, which is for the USA, United States of America Republic. So a lot of times, a lot of us don't know that we always have a choice, and you have people who are definitely in control in Hollywood to make you think it's only one when it's not one. and the most active and aggressive campaigning and fraudulent is definitely being conducted by the U.S. corporation. The U.S. corporation were those people who took America over. Though these were the people, these were the same criminals who did an insurrection against our people. They conquered our people. You need to know. And a lot of times you are so gung ho about loving the U.S., the U.S. corporation. And please understand, a lot of times, a lot of us are culturally literate or politically illiterate, and we don't know. And this is the problem with our people, is that we don't understand that there's a thin line, a veil that's been placed in front of us of ignorance, and because of this ignorance, we get a lot of stuff misconstrued, but based on word magic, right? A lot of times they talk this stuff about the U.S. government, the U.S. corporation, and you be thinking this is the home team. These are the people who are definitely in control, de facto government. But if you look like me, they're not your friends unless you are wealthy, And this is not about color. This is that is a distraction. They play the color game. They play you, but it's really not about color. It's about money and family. People in places and families that's been ruling by lineage. Now, I don't want to lose you. I want to get back to what we're talking about, right? Is this de facto government is the people who introduce immigration, right? Now I know, because I'm a student of history, particularly American history, not U.S. history. That's U.S. ain't my y'all. They not our friends. They look like I'm not wealthy. I'm wealthy in character and spirit, and what I have inside me is beyond what we call wealth. But as long as these people who are in power, controlling this narrative, they want to use magic and spells, and they're using some of the finest, brightest colored people to do so. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about these backdoor people, the boule, the people who are pushing the African stuff, and the black, the people who are always saying you're black. And then when you watch something that has a title that says black, and then what they want to do is say black about 50,000 times in an hour, because what they want to do is to seduce you and put you under a spell with that black bullshit. And we know that black means civil mortus. That means you're dead. Well, what are you talking about, right? Well, whatever you sign up for, or whatever you stand under, you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you say yes, it's something you stand under. They put you under these spells with word magic because you simply don't know your ignorance. You are naivete. And so at some point, people like us, we are trying to throw you ropes and wake you up and to get you to move correctly, right? You got to move from being, a monster into a private entity, a foreign entity to the U.S. powers, corporation who are controlling everything, because the republic is still in effect. And so once you kind of know that, then it is your job to be careful. Be very careful. A lot of us live dually. I am one who lives dually. I have a U.S. corporation license, but also have a USA passport. So once you understand that, then you know what's going on right here with this shit show. It's one corporation fighting against another entity. And so it was all planned. You know, I hope you know all of this is planned. They were planning for Joe, right? They showed the campaign. They've been fucking gaming on us, talking about, oh, he's incompetent from the day he stepped in office. That shit was done illegally and on purpose because basically what they wanted to do was disrespect you right in your face because you're still going for this black shit. And as long as you black, you are fucking powerless. You are dead. These other people can come from all over the country and manage you. I mean, all over the world and manage you in your own house when you should be in the republic. You should be your own sovereign entity. I said it. I said sovereign. You should claim your real status as a American citizen, original American, not a U.S. citizen. No, not a U.S. You are an American citizen, particularly wherever state you are is your country. Your real country. These things that they call states are countries in America. So I talked a lot, and what I was trying to tell you about is they're steadily using Hollywood and media, Jewish control ran, small hat control ran media to keep you out of the loop into this false perception. And there's so many people who take the shit serious. So many of y'all you don't have a clue. And some of y'all are stronger and more powerful than I could ever be, and younger and influential. That's the saddest part is that I get it when they say the meek shall inherit the earth. I consider myself meek. I can't defend myself, but I'm not the most powerful, influential person, right? Because we talking about in the sea of dead people that breathe and are alive, but you guys are monsters because you don't want to. You are comfortable in a false identity, so you're participating in the lie. So you are an enemy of the state. It is true. If you call yourself a U.S. citizen, then you are against the original Republic of America. And I must say this because somebody is not going to get it. Somebody, there's nothing I can say to the dead. I don't even want to wake the dead up. My message is for the living and thriving and evolving person, or man, because a person can be a monster too. A person is a corporation. So I like to say man, the real live man. And so a lot of times they knew they were going to do that. He came into office fumbling and stumbling and missed the teleprompt and all that. So they want to do what we call a red herring on you and play out all of this bullshit about the president being he's not real. He was executed in 2018. So there is actors in place. This is why Hollywood is doing what they doing now. Is they're fucking nobody is making real movies because the real movie is the politics. So Hollywood is playing this spell shit, and they're using their best. My understanding is Joe Biden has been played by a number of actors. So I don't know. I seen his mask. I seen, I didn't see it per se, personally, but I seen them reveal one instance where he had a mask on. I don't think you could fake that right there. So it's no wonder. It makes sense that he was gonna get sick and drop out. It's scary because I almost think all of this is going together. They're together. Donald Trump, you know, good guy versus bad guy, you know. But they don't give me no choice. I would have to vote for Donald Trump because he's talking the best talk. And already had the experience of I've already had the experience of dealing with his administration, and it wasn't bad. The gas was low, $3.99 low. That's low in California. It was money out there. There was plenty of money out there, plenty of loans, a lot of whole bunch of tax breaks. It was a lot of stuff. America was trying to bounce back from the so-called uh, pandemic, scandemic. Was Donald Trump a part of the conspiracy of the pandemic? I wouldn't doubt it, but he sure wasn't a good actor in it, especially when he didn't want to put the mask on when Donald Pence and all them was putting on their mask. Yes, so this could be America right now. Is people are trying to take America. I almost believe that California has been taken by China, thanks to Joe Biden and Newsom punk ass. I believe that they have conceded and given uh, California to China. I seriously believe that. That's why you have these, staunch gun laws where they don't want people with high capacity magazine because they don't want the people to be able to defend themselves if the Chinese come in and want to cash in and just take everything in California. So yeah, so and it definitely I could see why they got Kamala Harris because she was in California as well. So it's definitely coming together as far as this part of the country being conceded to, another entity like China. They're working fervently and secretly. But as far as we know, maybe China may be U.S. control as well, but being painted as the bad guys. I always got to give you some good game. Some of y'all will be thinking I'm crazy and just, playing this YouTube account out. But I always keep an open mind. My understanding is Bush was definitely the ambassador to China. We know that China is not the original name. We know that when the world was taken over, a lot of these melanated places were toppled. The original people that was there was changed by the same people who are in power in America. So why wouldn't China be really an American colony playing out as their own colony? Their military got the same shit. They got the same Coast Guard. Why would you be an enemy of our country but have a Coast Guard like America? So, always keep an open mind. Don't be a sucker. Be willing to be one of the ones they will say is crazy because you have sense enough to think outside the box. So what I'm saying is they want to give the rest of the presidency, which is almost up, they're introducing Kamala as the commander-in-chief for the next 3 or 4 months because Robinette Biden, rest in peace, is stepping down. Well, nigga, you didn't already had most of the fucking 4 years. There ain't but 5 months left in this year, and the primaries kicking off in November. It ain't even that. November, so it's only 2-3 months. If you don't stop playing with us. All of us know. All of us know. All of us know. We know better. You think we stupid. We know better. We see what's going on. But sorry to say, if they don't steal the election, because I don't believe in no natural, I would almost think it'd be hard for Donald Trump to get in office, especially, and he had a good promise. He's talking about closing the border down and being good to the Americans. But the way the economy is on a global scale, I don't know if that is possible because the dollar is so weak. Even though everything, the even though all of the wages and everything has shot up, and the cost of living and inflation and bumped up everything, and it seems that everything is people are making more money, the dollar ain't shit. So that's the illusion. You see, so for Trump to come in and do that, that would right there create a lot of bullshit. It's just a whole lot of interesting times right now because Trump is and then he got assassinated, and attempted on, and somehow the bullet grazed him and hit his ear. It's just an interesting time, but that right there, with his status on where he is in the polls right now, he has a strong 76%. So it looks like he's sliding right into office if I didn't know any better. But at the last minute stitch effort, Joe Biden gets 6, calls into power Kamala Harris to be, the runner-up for the 2024, 25 presidential candidacy. I think it's bullshit, and I think it's disrespectful because, well, they know that there's a lot of women who have low self-esteem. So the same way that they got us, I say me too, because I voted for Obama. I never would have thought that they were two men. When I voted under happiness and the spell of elation. They inflated the whole thing like they was doing something different with the black president. Well, I found out that so-called, when I say black, I'm talking about melanated people. Whenever you hear me say black, it is a term that we relate to. I am not black. I do not endorse it on paper. I just use it because you guys relate to the word, but by no stretch of imagination am I black. No, I'm my color looks reddish. Last time I looked brown. Reddish brown. Brown is red. It's a shade of red, yeah, so, and my nationality is American original. I'm original American. I don't know what they're saying, and I have a right to self-proclaim, and I will that's my constitutional right. I'm a Californian by country or nation, and yeah. So, but yeah, that's what they're doing is they want to appeal to the women, those black women who have no clue, ignorant, and just glad that it's a so-called black person, because these black people, these African American people are, oh boy, and some of my family consider themselves African American. I'm like, we ain't no fucking Africans, and we ain't black. And as long as you consider yourself black, what you doing is you opening the door for these spy immigrant co-colonizers to be coming in here, being used and weaponized against your ass because they're dark like you. But I dealt with a couple of these immigrants, especially the black ones, Them motherfuckers is mean spirited. They mad. They coming into our country angry and shit. The fuck you here for? Did nobody invite you? See, and that's another reason why I have a problem is because whatever power is in place, open our borders. Nobody never even raised the question. This is an emergency and a pandemic, and you open the border, and you having all of these fraudulent, dark people who don't have our best interests at hand, and man, if you don't stop playing, I respect the fact that they need, people to come and work for cheaper, and you know, I observe the fact that a lot of y'all want to use these undocumented people for, nefarious acts of perversion and all of that. It is the biggest scandal of human marketing, human transporting. Yeah. So, and it's just awful because I see a lot of our people falling because they took the shot. They believed everything that these Hollywood actors, these people did not. These people hate you and detest you. And I try to tell you, but a lot of the so-called black, ignorant Negroes rose up against me or hushed me or flagged my channel or did all of that because I simply told the truth. I simply told them that there's a power that's in place that would like to make America an international country and not a sovereign nation of Aboriginal people who were always here. You guys don't understand that you were conquered. You still believe that you came on a fucking slave ship. You still believe all that bullshit. We ain't never been no fucking slave. Are you kidding? Meanwhile, they never told you about the Trans-Pacific slave trade. They never told you about those individuals who came to America and helped take over Mexico and put a new people in place. Same thing is taking place right now. They're using the world to come here. The world that they've created. This is a false world. The whole world is an illusion. They have created a world that you have gotten familiar with. But these people were put here. These corporations were placed here, and they were done by dark Negroes like me and you. Some of us think that France is across the waters. Some of us think that England is across the water. Some of us think that Spain, so-called Spain, is across the water. And that is the most biggest fraudulent act of fraud committed against humanity ever, is that they have taught you some bullshit. All of those empires that I mentioned were American. So, you guys got a lot to learn. And I'm not talking down on you, I'm talking with you. I know that a lot of you women won't believe me because you only go by what you see. They may say, "Oh, he's old, he's broke, he's ashy, he's dusty." You guys have so frail of requirement and so you guys are so superficial that if I'm not wearing a name brand or I'm not in a mansion in the background and I'm not wealthy, what I'm talking about is deaf ears. You guys you're lost. You never could be lost because why? Because they have came and took your country and subjected you to paper slavery, took your money, and you have been injured because of it. So the damage is the ignorance and The damage is your criteria for who you pay attention to, who is popping versus who is not. You know, and the worstest thing you could have ever did if you're a black woman was assailed against a black man, and participated in stuff we normally don't do, following some other people because your self-esteem. You gave up on the power of us, the family, the melanated American, the Aboriginal. Yeah, all of that, more, all of that. We coexisted with no country has all ever been just monolithic, all one specific group. We always have been tribes that moved in trusts and confederations. A lot of you guys don't know, and so a lot of these women that are in power now are being falsely misled to weaponize against people like me who know. There are some women who know, but there are so many who don't, and that is a problem. That is a problem. They're going to use the appeal just like they used on Obama. Them two men, Obama and Mike. I got pictures. I believe it with all my heart that was a gay couple. That they lied to you. I seen the parents of Shasha and Malia. Those are not their kids. So you can't fool me. I know. And what I'm saying is gonna fly over a lot of people's head because they ain't gonna listen to no 36-minute video. But I told you they have been lying. They turned the White House, they turned the fucking government, they turned YouTube, all that into the fucking new Hollywood. They killed the old Hollywood because they're playing out real life. All this is fraud. And what they want you to do is to believe that America is an international country. They flooded it with all of these different weird people because they don't want you to connect to your sovereignty. They don't want to give America back to you. But in 2022 of July, the U.S. corporation was defunct. And so that's why they flooded the border and, caused the pandemic and wanted to neutralize a lot of you because you are considered U.S. property. Yeah, you call you claim you, or you got the birth certificate. You never chose the republic. You never got you a passport. So they're neutralizing you and poisoning you. They're poisoning the food. It's a cold game. So that's what's going on right now. But a lot of us are strong and resilient, and we'll continue to fight and disseminate the information and be vanguards because we see that what's going on. They want to denationalize and reconquest America. America has been conquested. I told you, you guys think that this is the best country in the world when all the time our ancestors made a mistake and then they did some fucked up shit, and this is why we paying. We had the slaves. We had the dark Europeans, the blacks is the Europeans. The black melanated Negroes of Europe is the blacks, and the whites, the so-called Caucasians that we see in power right now are token trustees to run this U.S. corporation. So once you know what I'm saying. I just told you. I just gave you the game. Is that it was the white man and the black man of Europe who came to America, and they were slaves, and our people, a lot of us didn't do right by them. We kept them in slavery, and a lot of times they rose up against us, and they confederated and unionized and turned into an army after they infiltrated and married into a lot of our families. After we trusted some of these people who are our property and married into them and had their kids and all that. So when you see these Negroes that look somewhat like me, a lot of times they're intertwined into our family. The American Aboriginal or the American original or the FBA or the Moorish American, you know, and at some time you guys got to stop set tripping and being so fucking frail thinking we never coexisted. If my mama was a Jehovah Witness, lived with my grandfather who was not necessarily a Christian, but he believed in church and all that, then we know that we always have been that like that. We could coincide, and you could be Muslim, you could be Buddhist or whatever, and we all it was never just a Christian. That's that Christian religion shit, and those are ministries based on business. Okay, once you understand that this is all for business and control and all of that, then you know that whatever you believe in is your own personal idea, and it's not commercialized. The real church is within, not the fucking building. That's cap game. That's corporation ministry and all of that. 501c government. They work for the government. They're the spies. They are the ones that infiltrate and all that. And so once you kind of understand that, then you start moving different. But yeah, so that's what it is. Is they're gonna play on a lot of our ignorance, especially the women, because the women are the majority, and they're using gender and numbers against the people who are woke and know better. Yeah, that's what's up.